I can pull up pictures of my friends from high school and the kids at Rita back at the time, and yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, because I haven't seen you since then. What happened to your boys on Friday?
Oh man.
What I was just there. I was there on Saturday to do a game, and I looked down at my feet. I see the game program. Had to look up the score. Not the best for St. Rita there.
No, we lost with 30-20.
Yeah.
To JCA.
Mm.
And but you know what? That's the Catholic League, man. Catholic League Blue. It's probably one of the toughest high school conferences in the country. And if you make the playoffs coming out of there, guess what? You are ready.
So let me ask you this: do they do senior nights a little differently in that league? Because the football program, said that it was their senior night, JCA senior night. And I know from when we used to play in our league and stuff like that, it was always end of the year.
The last home game.
Yeah.
It's usually with senior night.
So is that just a weird thing they did?
It's you know what? It varies by school because as I said, when I was a senior, it was the last home game or one of the last home games of the season because they didn't want it too cold back then.
Makes sense.
If you're going into late September, October, it might be a little too cold. So like one of the last two home games of the years where they would have senior night, and anything else, it might just be a school thing. It might just be, by the individual school they do it when they're ready. But yes, if they're senior night the first day, that's weird.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
I thought it was a misprint, but I was like, it can't possibly be a misprint. Big bold letters right on the program. So whatever.
Okay. All righty then.
I had to.
You had to give me some.
You know I had to.
Yeah,
man.
I know you did, dude. I know. I was like, damn. When I saw them lose, I'm like, son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit. And I was wondering if you were gonna give me some slack, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but
I had to. Come on now. My high school won, so it's neither But we don't need to get into that. They won 40.
Yeah, we don't.
But it's okay.
Next top of the morning topic. I told you we're football heavy this morning.
It's good. I like it.
Listen to this. The Cleveland Browns have released linebacker Michael Kendricks after he was charged yesterday with insider trading by federal prosecutors to make nearly $1.2 million in illegal profits on 4 investments 4 years ago. So I'm going to attack this a couple ways. First and foremost, how the hell did you get caught?
Because it's not a lot of money.
One, it's not a lot of money. 2, it's very difficult to prove insider trading. Extremely difficult to prove. That's a very, very tough. You don't bring that up unless you have a slam dunk of a case. And apparently they had a slam dunk of a case. How do you get caught, kid? And I don't know. That's it. Second thing is, it's bad. It's unfortunate that he got caught in insider trading because he lost his job. Now, if he would have beat his girl or sold coke or murdered someone, he'd still have a job in the NFL.
But I get what you're saying, but the difference is the Browns made this decision. It wasn't an NFL decision. So you never know. The Browns
are they're bass backwards.
I'm just saying. Let's give them, some credit. It's new ownership.
But here's the thing. They knew about. Here's the thing.
So did the Eagles.
Right.
So that's what makes me think that the Eagles, that's got to be why they released him then.
They said, yeah, because the Browns said they were aware of his involvement in that situation before they signed him to the 1-year deal a few months ago in June. But then they said things have changed. They said they released a statement saying, quote unquote, circumstances have changed, unquote. So he apologized, for it. Him and a TV guy who used to work for was it Smith Barney? Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
Sorry, used to work for Goldman Sachs. Gave him the info, and he kicked him back with $10,000 tickets. Nice little barter system there, and they're talking about jail time. And truth be told, I think this is actually kind of funny. Funny because he's getting such a harsh sentence that he might go to prison, which is customary. But he was playing the game. He was playing the game. Now when you start getting into white collar crime, now it's like whoa, you're not supposed to be. You just play football. You don't dabble in white collar crime like we do. I just find it interesting and funny that he gets caught, and he gets. Well, actually, he wasn't caught. He was just charged, and even though he was signed, the team released him. I just find it funny. To me, it seemed as if he's delving into an area that that's like the Billionaires Boys Club type of infraction, and I think he shouldn't be there. He doesn't belong there because you're not one of the billionaires in the Billionaires Boys Club. So I just find it a little funny, and kind of stay in your role and go beat up women and murder people and get arrested for drunk driving and do all that stuff. That's fine.
Yeah, come on, NFL. What are we doing? Why are we getting away from our calling card here? We're getting into white collar crime. Come on now. But no, Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks would never. Michael Hendricks.
He would never get caught. I mean, he would never do that.
Yes, both. If he decided to do it, it would be to help the less fortunate.
Robin Hood?
Yes, but that's neither here nor there. But Michael Hendricks, yeah, he's made $20 million in his career. I'm looking it up right now. He's made $20 million in his career. So we're talking $1.2 million, which is to him like, yeah, if me or you were to do that and we made $1.2 million on it, it's a big change in our life. But when you make $20 million, when you sign a signing bonus in 2015, so 2 seasons ago, for $8 million, and then you're still doing this for literally the smallest amount of money compared to what he's making, it's just...
He thought he had a lick.
And
thought he had a little hustle, and he got played.
And that's the thing. Like, I want to give him, like I want to be like, oh, okay, like, it's, you got to be somewhat smart to, inside trade, and, it's all money, but it's like, this is not very smart at all when you're already making way more than you're going to bring in from this insider trading thing. No,
it's a quick, that could have been like a new house. That could have been something for mom, dad, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I can make an extra mil, but just not doing anything.
He can afford, like, and that's
he could.
I get it, but it's not like he's made like $3 million in his career, and it's like, okay, if I wanted to make a purchase like that, that's gonna really, set me back. Well, not set me back, but it's gonna take a nice chunk out of what I've earned. No, he's earned basically $20.5 million over 6 seasons. 6.
Well, like I said, more money, more problems. Biggie told us that.
I guess I wouldn't know, but
how much did it say he put in? I want to say 400,000.
That's what I mean. Oh,
yeah.
So it's ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah, it doesn't. I didn't see in the article how much he put in. But he's going to make $1.2 million,
which makes me think that he wasn't putting in that much. Because
right. I mean, it's a profit. It's a 1.2 profit. So whatever he put in, it's that'll be subtracted. So I don't know. But think about it. If you have a chance that you think you can make an extra $1 million, and because you have the means to, a lot of people would.
I know, but that's easy for us to say. But like, if you were to just look at your bank account, you're like, oh, I got like $12 million in the bank account. Why risk? And I get it. I totally get it. Like, if he was to pull out $200 million or something from this, it's like, yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. That is
his ass going away for a long time.
But you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, is the juice worth the squeeze, basically? It's like, yeah, you got close to $300 million out of this Ponzi scheme or whatever, insider trading. No, 1.2.
And chances are they'll send him to. Well, I don't know. He's a black man, so I don't know if they send him to a country club.
No.
He'd be with killers and rapists and murderers.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. I don't think he's gonna. Do you think he does jail time? I don't know how this stuff works. I just feel like he's gonna have to pay like a fine. He's
gonna have to pay the money back.
Because it's not. Again, it's not that much money.
He's gonna have to pay the money back. He could face jail time. It all depends on what the prosecutor goes for. Is the prosecutor gonna push for for jail time, then there's chances of him doing it. He's been cooperative, so that's going to help a lot. So that alone might help alleviate. They might just give him probation, or he can never trade again. Something.
He'll be back in the league.
Hopefully for him, because this has nothing to do. Again, this is nothing egregious. This is not. We're not talking about infringing on someone's human rights, or beating a woman or murder or anything like that, or molestation or nothing like that. He saw he had a chance. He had the means
playing
with
the
his
system.
money. Yeah, that's all it was. He was playing the game and he got caught. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing less. So, and unfortunate for him that he got caught, but I just thought it was really weird. Like, now that he's delving into white collar crime. I'm really anxious to see what the judicial system does to him. Like I said, it's like, listen, you're not in your neighborhood, buddy. Stick to those physical crimes. Don't deal in. This is our kind of crime. So I just find it interesting. So we'll see how that.
But he's a pretty smart guy. Went to Berkeley. I'm trying to see what he, majored in, and some of those guys take those degrees seriously, for the most part. But yeah, I mean, he went to Berkeley, and again, he was playing football, but it's a good school. So he knows, he's not a dumb person by any means. It's not
exactly why he knew. It's exactly why he screwed, because he realized he knew what he was doing as far as the insider trading. He knew that, and he apologized, and he kept saying that. And that was interesting. He said, he was, quote, he goes, I would like to apologize. 4 years ago, I participated in insider trading, and I deeply regret it. I invested money with a former friend of mine who I thought I could trust and who I greatly admired. His background as a Harvard graduate and as an employer of Goldman Sachs gave me a false sense of confidence. To this point, I had worked my tail off since I was 5 years old to become a professional football player. I was drawn in by the allure of being more than just a football player. While I don't fully understand all of the details of the illegal trades, I knew it was wrong, and I wholeheartedly regret my actions. Then he goes on to say, I sincerely apologize to my coaches, the owners, and my teammates on the Eagles and the Browns, the NFL, and the magnificent fans to whom I owe my career. I also apologize to my family, who I failed in this. You deserve better, and I will work my hardest to re-earn your trust and respect. Serve as an advocate to educate others and show you that I will never be involved in anything like this again. You're damn right you ain't going to be involved in this again, fool.
It's not by your choice, I don't think. So.
Yeah, because you might, they might not have any funds of yours or be allowed in, SEC is going to crack down on that. So it's, that's.
I mean, I hope it works out for him. I do. It's, he made a mistake. He tried to.
He got caught.
He tried to play the system. Yeah. He got caught. I can respect it for the most part. Like, I get it. You're hustling it, but you got caught. You go take your punishment, and I'm sure he'll find his way back in the league. So, what are you thinking about suspension? Because we see the standard 4 games for PEDs, standard quarter for domestic violence, stuff like that. So
he's delving into a world that the billionaire owners might not like.
Yeah, and, that's the problem.
So they're like, okay, since you're trying to come in our world, we'll give you an 8-game suspension. Is what I'm thinking. Seriously, all kidding aside.
See, and it's crazy that he's gonna get it. It's just crazy that they would suspend him for that long, and that's just the way the NFL goes.
Yeah, because there's no precedent for this. There's no, So he is the answer to a trivia question.
He is the bar setter. He's going to set the bar. I mean,
who's the only player in the NFL to be suspended, to be cut for insider trading?
There you go.
He's a question on Jeopardy now. Who is?
Yeah,
Michael?
Yeah, Browns player.
Kendricks.
Browns player busted for insider trading. It's like, who is Michael Kendricks?
I'll take players busted for infraction by the NFL for $500, Alex.
It's like, who is Kyle Hendricks? He's like, oh no, that's wrong. You're like, darn it.
You're like, no, Kyle Hendricks wouldn't get caught doing that. Damn it. He's too smart. He's a Dartmouth guy.
Yeah, that's the truth. He is. He would probably do it. He'd probably get away with it though.
We'll see. Next time on the morning topic, quick, Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater gets traded from the New York Jets to the Saints. Interesting trade. And I was kidding around yesterday, and I had a couple people think I was serious. Guys, you got to realize I'm the biggest smartass, one of the biggest smartasses you'll know. So stop. Don't take a lot of my stuff seriously. If you think it's
better to be a smartass than a dumbass.
This is true. I've been called that too at times. So I don't know. But he gets traded to the Saints from the Jets, which does two things. One, it opens the door for Sam Darnold to be the starter Week 1 in New York because Teddy Bridgewater actually had a good season. He was very productive before him and 17 other Minnesota Viking quarterbacks got hurt last couple of years. But now, and the thing I posted, people got upset about, I was like, oh, wow, Drew Brees to the bench. And people got mad at that. I was like, I'm kidding. I had to go back and edit my post. Like, just kidding. But it just shows that they weren't happy with the backup quarterbacks that they had. They feel like that Teddy Bridgewater is a guy that if Drew Brees goes down, he can step in and kind of run this offense in a way that will not allow them to fall too far behind. So, good. I'm happy for Bridgewater. I wish he could finally stick somewhere, but
I've heard good things about him so far this season. As far as him coming back from injury, I've heard very good things that he was battling for the starting spot for a little bit, before they got Darnold in there, could really see, what he was able to do. But when Darnold was kind of holding out, yeah, Teddy was taking those, he was taking them snaps in first team. So
Teddy looked good, man.
That's the thing. He's a good quarterback. He had that nasty injury, but I feel it sucks that he had to go to the Saints. I wish they would have traded him to a team that possibly could have used him more.
Okay, that makes sense.
But, it's the way it goes. He's going to go sit behind Drew Brees. He's going to...
Which, if you're smart, you sit there and you watch and learn from that sucker. Because that dude, that's a guy you want to learn from. That's one of those upper echelon quarterbacks that who's a Super Bowl winner, an MVP. Sit back and watch what he does and pattern your game. Maybe not pattern your game, but take some of the things some nuggets that he can give you. Might not maybe just intentionally or just by watching him go to work every day. Take some of those nuggets and add it to your game and become a much better quarterback if you're smart.
Yeah, and he does seem like a smart guy. I've never met him, but he seems to be a very smart guy. He's made a career in this league. Even with that injury, he's gotten back in the league. He still manages to get contracts. I think he's a good quarterback. So his game is close enough to Drew Brees's. They have certain similarities where, they can move a little bit. They got strong arms. They're, just different kind of quarterbacks. They're kind of playmaking quarterbacks. So, yeah, it's a nice situation for him to go in and get to learn behind Drew Brees. But I feel like Drew Brees, again, is going to be one of those guys who just plays until he's 40. So
I think you're right. Or unless he gets hurt. But Drew Brees is one of those guys who's going to play till he decides he's done.
Yeah.
And, Bridgewater, if he can wait. See, that's the thing I have with people, especially now with all the studies that have come out about CTE and all this other stuff. Why you wouldn't, if you're a backup, why you wouldn't relish that role? Why you have to have this desire to be a starting quarterback? If you're getting good money, if you're getting millions and your body's not taking a toll, dude, I get competing, I get wanting to be the best. But man, there's a lot to be said for the Mark Sanchez of the world, dude. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
I mean, Chase Daniels,
yeah.
That guy, here we go. I'm going to pull up his career earnings and career stats. But Chase Daniel has been a career backup.
Mm-hmm.
He's the 51st highest quarterback. He's the 51st highest paid quarterback of all time. Pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good. Says he's earned over $25 million in his career, and he's thrown, I think, handful of passes, maybe 5, 6 passes in the
No,
NFL.
not that few.
No, I swear to God, it's brutal. But that's how can anyone complain with a job like that?
You can't.
That's what I mean.
Wow.
So yeah, he's got 1 touchdown pass for his career.
Oh my goodness.
So
Dude, that's insane. That is insane.
and he's made 480 career pass yards. So obviously, he's played a couple times, but yeah, for his career in the regular season, he has thrown the ball 51 times.
That's a game.
Yeah.
That's one game. That's a Tom Brady stat, throwing 51 times. A Drew Brees stat, throwing 51 times.
Yeah, that's
He's
Chase.
done it his whole career.
It's Chase Daniel's career. Let's see. Signed a $10 million contract with the Bears. Last year he signed a 1-year contract. Doesn't say how much. 2 years ago signed a 3-year, $21 million deal. So
What does it have the signing bonus for that?
it doesn't, but I'm looking for more information on what he's made. Unbelievable. How could you be bad with this? You don't even have to play.
Wow.
You don't have to get hurt. You don't have to play.
Yep. And you're set for life.
Yeah, you're just making money out there collecting a check. Not a bad gig.
Yeah. Well, listen, one more last top of the morning topic. I told you we're football heavy. We're going to stay in football. We're going to go a level lower. College football starts today, folks. Starts today, college football. And Northwestern actually started last week, to be honest with you. But around these parts, Northwestern at Purdue today, 7 o'clock, in West Lafayette, Indiana. I'm excited. I've always been a big Northwestern fan. I like Fitz. He's a good guy. He used to come recruit some of my players when I was coaching at Curie. I think he's one of those guys. We talked about Breeze and Rogers playing until they want to retire. I think he's going to be the head coach of Northwestern until he wants to retire. He's found a good home there. Just had that huge unveiling of their new indoor facility. Have you seen that on the lakefront?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's freaking ridiculous. Was it $270-something million for that? I mean, they literally have. I mean, that's state of the art. That's probably, if it's not the best college football facility, it's in the top 1.
What about? Come on now.
Dude, it's the latest one, and whatever every school does, they always want to outdo the last person.
I know, but those Oregon ones.
Dude,
Oregon's facilities are pretty nice.
Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, is an Oregon grad, which is why Oregon has 87 uniforms.
Exactly.
But the facilities, it's right over the lake. You can still see part of the skyline. It's badass, dude. I haven't been in the facility just from the pictures that I've seen. Unfreaking believable.
Yeah, no, it does look nice. So, but is that going to bring recruits in? I don't think so.
It will. I mean, trust me. With college recruiting, kids nowadays, they want all the bells and whistles. They want an indoor facility. They want bowl games. They want TV exposure. And what's going to happen is initially Fitz is going to start getting those 3- and 4-star recruits. If he can get a 5-star recruit, that's great. But he's going to be getting those 3- and 4-star recruits. Okay, maybe the tweeners, right? The 4+, and 4.3, 4.6 star recruits. You know what I mean? And that they can go somewhere big, but if they do, they're behind another 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
And all he really needs is 1 or 2 big 5-stars to come. And holy cow, you add that with a lot of 3 and 4 stars and 4+, it can be a good team. Northwestern,
to me, just seems like one of those schools where if you're a big-time talent and you can basically have your pick at schools, and I'm not saying necessarily that those guys who are usually going to have their pick at their schools, most of those guys aren't going to pick Northwestern. I just think at the end of the day, it takes, I don't want to say it takes a certain breed, but there's a certain type of player that is going to go to Northwestern. And I know me, like personally, if I was a recruit coming out of high school, I really wouldn't be too interested in Northwestern.
Why not? They're bowl game. They go to bowl games every year. They win. They've won a few bowl games, so they broke that streak.
I just would want to be somewhere where football is the main priority. And no, I'm not. This isn't a slight on Northwestern by any means, because this.
Sounds like it.
Well, it might be a slight on their athletic program, but
Okay.
it's a great school.
Oh yeah.
And if you go there, you have to keep up on your grades. It's
Almost
not
as good as Holy Cross, where I went.
There we go. Shout out Holy Cross. But you have to take care of business when you go there. Even when you're playing football, you have to take care of all your classes. You have to take care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Academics are very important there. And I think that there's a lot of athletes that, you know what, I'm just going to go play football. I'm going to take the easy way. And I don't have any problems with those guys doing that. But, yeah, I just think there's just better places to me to play. There's better stadiums. There's better
stadiums. I will agree with you.
Yes.
I would definitely agree with you, because Northwestern is the stereotypical, the old school college campus stadium.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it's like you play there once and it's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And then you realize you have to play there 6 Saturdays out of the season and you're like, maybe this isn't the best.
With Northwestern, that stadium needs to be upgraded.
Absolutely.
But the facilities that we talked about, those are huge, man. The kids, they want to see the bells and whistles, man. They want to see, that's what they care about. And they're doing everything right as far as being on TV, as far as getting invitations to bowl games. They're getting that right. So, good luck today. I think Northwestern might pull this one out with their senior quarterback, who's coming off an ACL injury, Clayton Thorson. But we're going to find out Northwestern at Purdue tonight, guys. We got to take a commercial break. On the other side of break, Patrick Nolan on Sox Machine. Right after this, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Wicked Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Todd Frazier hit a grand slam and drove in a season-high 5 runs, leading the Mets to a 10-3 win over the Cubs on Wednesday.
This is recording a lot better than I thought it was going to. I said it's recording a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Oh, okay.
I could send this to you and shit if you wanted to. I usually record the show.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then you listen to it?
Yeah, I'll re-listen to it, Just, it's nice to have.
He wants to make sure that young quarterback Mitchell Trubisky is comfortable.
Having command of the play, it'll be more.
Bears at home tonight?
In the game.
Or are they in Buffalo?
Being comfortable with it is like, that would be the one that I like, that he feels just okay with. That's the comfortable one. It won't be uncomfortable for him.
Hey, Nolan.
Get 6 months of Apple Music free with the official vehicles of summer from Jeep.
Patrick, what's up, buddy? How are you? Shawn
With the Sports Flash driven by Jeep on 1330 and 95.
I'm great, man. I'm great. So we're going to bring you out in about a minute. We just got a lot of soccer talk, baby. Good win yesterday. Their first win, boogie down, 05. So good stuff. So we got a lot to talk about. Ray Ray's performing on the mound yesterday, so we good. All right, we're being ringing on about 40 seconds. Oh, just FYI, we're gonna record this, okay?
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job.
3,
Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on the Zone, 1330.com. Our Facebook page. We're all over the place, baby. All over the place. Guys, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Talk about the boys of summer as the season winds down. My good guys, man, good guys on the south side yesterday, actually the Boogie Down. We had the White Sox are playing pretty good baseball right now, and I'm very happy as a Sox fan, as a lifelong Sox fan, that hopefully that the rebuild has finally turned the corner. I don't know if it has. I hope it has. The White Sox have secured the first winning month this season. They got their first win yesterday, or their first series victory in New York against the Yankees yesterday for the first time since '05. So they haven't had one in the new Yankee Stadium, which was built in '09. So we wanted to reach out to a Sox guy, and it's actually the first time guest having him call in. He's the editor of Sox Machine, and he's a Southsider. I knew I liked this guy for some reason. Southside. You can find him on Twitter at Sox SOXMACH_P Knowles. Patrick Nolan. Patrick, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good. Me and Andy Hensel are in town. Are in studio. Don't worry. Andy's a Cub fan, so just don't hold that against him.
I know.
I say that every time he's in studio. Like, oh boy, have you changed allegiances yet? But so getting into the game yesterday, first, as I said, first series victory in the Boogie Down since '05. What is this saying about this team who, for some reason, is starting to play much, much better, much more focused baseball, much more fundamentally sound baseball? What does this say, this series win in the Bronx, about this team? Stud. Man, ain't that the truth? Let me tell you, ever since Kopech came up, he made everybody step their game up. And to me, that's what's exciting. The fact that you get a guy coming in here and he's dealing, and people want to, their level of expectation rises. You know, when they see this guy coming in, they saw the fanfare of what it was like at his first game last Tuesday. I was there at Sox Park checking it out, and it was electric. I haven't seen or felt Sox Park that electric in years. I couldn't even tell you the last time I felt it that electric. It was amazing. Unfortunately, it was shortened due to rain, but nonetheless, it was great. I think that's what's happening with these pitchers. You know, you don't want some new guy coming up and stealing the show. You want to show that you have, you know, you got skills too. And I think Ray Lopez took notice. Lucas Giolito took notice. I think this is a great start for this, what could be 3/5 of the rotation in 2019, 2020. Mm-hmm. Don't forget Dane Dunning. He's down there too. He got shut down early this year, but he'd been doing very well beforehand also. Right. So this is a weird thing, you know, with the way the rebuild's going. Usually teams go for the position players. You get as many studs as you can, then you kind of buy the pitching, maybe very few homegrown pitchers in a rebuild. The Sox are trying to do everything homegrown. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think their ace is out there somewhere in free agency?
And that's kind of different from when the Cubs went through their rebuild because the Cubs, and you can see it on their, their roster today, they're just stacked with position players. And the White Sox seem to be taking the approach of, we're going to start with young arms first. We're going to get the pitching staff settled, and then we're going to kind of, see what we have on offense. But is that kind of the way you see them handling this? Are they, their pitchers, that's the priority for them during this rebuild?
Yeah, you know what? I really like what they're doing with position players as well. You look at the outfield, and there's a logjam. There's only 3 spots out there, unless you want to get to the new wave defense where you put 4 outfielders out there.
Yeah, right.
But
softball style.
Yeah, but you're stacked in the outfield. You have Avi, who's there. If he's going to be here for the long haul, we don't know. But then you still got Adam Engel. This guy started off hitting 166. Now he's at 240. And if you just look at 240, you're like, oh, that's horrible. What's wrong with this guy? He sucks. But when you see where he came from and the improvements he's made, you're like, holy cow. Plus, he can cover everything from the Wisconsin to the Indiana border. That's a tough guy to get rid of. Then you have Charlie Tilson, New Trier's own, Chicagoland's own. And you have Blake Rutherford down there. You still have Luis Robert down there. You still have Eloy Jimenez coming up. You still have Lurie Garcia up there. There's tons and tons of people that the White Sox have in the outfield that if they need to, they can use a straight bait. Yep. Mm-hmm. Who you telling? I agree with you completely. If he can get up to 260, 280, God, if he hits 280, there's no way you can take him off the field. None whatsoever. A 280 guy who does all that and runs the bases extremely well, steals a couple for you. Yeah, there's no way. That would be first world problems for us because we don't have very many first world problems at this stage of the game. Let's talk about one of their other huge prospects. We talk about Kopech coming up and the electricity that was there last Tuesday. Were you at the game last Tuesday? Were you able to make it?
I was not.
Oh, okay. Dude, I thought you were gonna say me and my daughter cracked over some beers. I'm like, what are you doing? That's why mom never leaves kids home with dad. You're like, what? She's sleeping really well, honey. I thought you'd be happy.
It's Kopech.